Hey, I'm Birdman.
Hey, I'm Michael.
It's time to get on target at
The Hub. So,
still here.
still here, the Hub Phoenix. Another week's gone by. Rob came back down.
I'm
No,
just gonna drive back and forth and back and forth and
Back
wear
and
the
forth.
same shirt every single time.
right?
Yeah.
So, as we said in the last video, we're gonna start doing this little series on 1911s and the top ones that we sell in the hubs of Arizona. And so we're starting with kind of one of the big contenders, Cabot and Alchemy. Both are owned by the same people. It sounds bad. I don't know if they're made in the same factory. I would think they're made in the same factory. I could be wrong on that. But Cabot and Alchemy really bring something different to the market. They bring quality and actually being able to use the firearm and depend on it. So normally you have some of these guns that are just so tight you can't even pull the slide back. If anything gets in them, they're done. Dirt, debris, whatever. Cabot kind of, in my opinion, bridges that gap. They're still shooters. They still work. They want them to work. But at the same time, they want them to be as nice as possible. So you've got the Icon Tribute, which, as I said in the last video, is really it's a tribute to the 1911. So they were thinking, how do we really show how pure the 1911 really is? And they wanted to make, when you see this gun, make you think straight up just 1911.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. The things that, as I said in the video, there's some things that kind of throw me off a little bit. You don't really see, they call them button. You don't really see these buttons on any other 1911s. And the reason they actually did this was so you get grip. So you actually have something to pull back on. So super different, but not a normal styling cue on 1911s. So that's the only thing, though, that really, to me, is a little different than your normal 1911. Everything else, though, reminds you of a 1911 and or is 1911. Cabot makes all their guns out of 416 stainless, unless it is a Damascus or lightweight or some meteorite metal. They do that. They have made two 1911s out of a meteorite from a different world. So metal from a different world. The guns were like excess of $2 or $3 million for the pair.
Dang.
Very expensive.
Wow.
Very expensive. So Cabot sells some high-end guns. I don't know many other companies that are like, oh yeah, that gun's 1.5 million. So
That doesn't have a government contract.
right, yeah, that isn't full auto, government contract, whatever. So they can do mild to wild. So you can, this gun I think is in the $4,000 area, $3,000 to $4,000 area. Actually a little closer to $5,000. You can go all the way to, as I said, millions of dollars with Cabot.
Wow.
So it just depends on what you want to do. Same thing, everything is customizable on their guns. So you can order just, hey, I want a full-size government 1911, I want the Tribute Icon, send it. Or you can say, you know what, I want the Tribute Icon government, I want you to do your stars trigger though, and I want you to do these sights instead of the ones that you do on them, and I want you to do checkering on the side. Even though it's the Tribute and you don't normally do that, I want you to do that. They'll do that. So it's kind of like, tell us what you want, we'll make that gun. And there are other brands we work with that do the same thing. Nighthawk Customs, they're one where I can straight up say, hey, he wants the Agent 2, but he wants these sights, this color, this barrel, for this optic with a rail and serrations here. And they'll make that. So we have a lot of customization and customizability. How do you say that? I can't pronounce it right now.
A lot of personalization options.
There we go. That's a better word. I like it. So you can personalize it the way you'd like. So the other thing that's cool is with this guy, they gave you a really nice high-end gun case that's lockable. I really like that. Keeps the gun really nice. And it also comes with a velvet sleeve to hold it in so that it doesn't get scratched. Like I said, high-end guns, they really want to cater to that.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. This one's actually, everything on this gun is made in-house. The grips themselves, 416 stainless, the slide, the frame, all that. I think it's actually like a copper rear sight. They did like a special rear sight for this gun, U-notched rear sight, and then just their normal 1911 style front sight. So super pretty. Serrations on the back. Like I said, you could get rear serrations. Serrations, checkering on the back. You can get serrations. So it just depends on what you like. And then we'll kind of slide this beast over.
Let's see where we
Slide this beast. Oh,
I'm going to reposition.
we're going to reposition here.
Good. Talk.
We're going to reposition as we kind of dock it. So, oh, it's perfect actually. Kind of got it. There we go. So, we've got the Alchemy Custom. So, this one is the classic carry. And as I said in the first kind of intro video, Alchemy's focus is to bring you classic guns, classic gun looks with forward thinking. So with all the bells and whistles, hey, how do we make this gun shoot better? How do we make it perform better? Oh, yet it still looks like a 70 series Colt. So super cool. Really hold their own in the market. The owner, we were actually watching some videos on earlier, super different guy. I really like him. He kind of talks like we do. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, always put on a suit and tie and, never say anything wrong. He wasn't that. He was very like, I like it, so if you don't like it, screw you. And so I liked it. He was actually talking about a new gun that they're coming out called the Prodigy, where it's got a square trigger guard. And he's like, I just like it. You know what I mean? So why? Well,
That's why I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to do it. If you don't like it, sorry, don't buy the gun.
Don't buy that one.
And he talked about how, gunsmiths used to cut off the curved trigger guard and put square trigger guards. It actually serves a purpose, he was saying, of keeping your hand from rising up. Your front, your support hand, as you hold that gun, it actually rides on that kind of curve, and a lot of people follow it. And so with the square trigger guard, it doesn't ride up. So pretty cool, but again, forward thinking with old school designs. So I really like that. And Alchemy, again, the price point is a little different than Cabot. I think with Alchemy, you can actually get into that, teens to, low, $2,000 to $3,000 area. This gun we're looking at right here is just a little under $3,000. And they're gorgeous, and like I said, the blue is deep.
Just moving it around there, you can sort of see. You can get a little bit of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, my guys next door.
They're drilling the hole through the wall, man.
Yeah, they're doing something. It's the camera guy. It's the camera guy. So we're getting some new cameras installed. So if you hear a little drilling,
probably not. It's all good.
But so anyway, as I was saying, Alchemy Customs and Cabots, in my opinion, two of the top 1911 makers in the country. You can go classic style, you can go forward thinking, kind of artworks. You can go Damascus, you can go double stacks, race guns that have target in mind with Alchemy. Same thing with Cabot. So kind of build it to what you want. When I first signed up, I think they've increased capacity just because COVID really helped the gun industry. There's just no denying it. We were all selling guns like it was going out of style. The gun industry is still up right now because people are still buying guns, and the people that never had bought guns before that bought guns,
right,
love it and love shooting and are like, wow, I don't know why I waited 50 years to try this. One of the best releases I had, like stress releases I have. I'm having a bad day. I go shoot on the range. I feel better. So a ton of people joining the market, and with that, a ton of different wants and needs and likes and dislikes. And so you're getting a lot of new shooters that want something different. They don't want just the old style gun because they didn't come from the gun mentality. They're like, no, my family's never liked guns. I'm the first person to ever shoot a gun in my family. You know what? I want a Robin's Egg Blue 1911 that, is, kind of an icon, tribute to 1911s, but at the same time, it's forward. They can go to someone like Cabot and get that done. So super cool, and we really, really, really like Cabot. So as I said, you've got Alchemy Customs, you've got Cabot. Cabot at the time we came on was making $500 a year, so really hard to get their guns. If you think about having dealers in different states and stuff like that, and then selling them yourselves, divide 500 guns up, and it's not too many. So we were super excited to be able for them to take us on. We were honored, for a brand that matches themselves with quality to say, yes, the Hub is a place we'd like, you to sell our guns. Again, was super, it was a big honor for us. So I'm excited to get more training on these. I know some stuff about the guns, but I don't really know everything I want to. So if you have some questions, please reach out to us. If I'm not hitting on something, if there's a certain type of, how is this made? What metal's used? What gun's better than this? For certain things, let me know. I'll reach out to my rep and we'll get that info. As I said, we're waiting for them to come out. I'm waiting to go to them and do their dealer experience. And so a lot to learn, but based off what I know of firearms, you look at these and they just really match.
So reach out to the Hub on Facebook. Pretty fastest way. I mean, you do that in email, but I get to see the actual Facebook conversations, and they're actually pretty darn quick if you think about it. And I see a lot of different companies.
We try.
Are on top of it.
We try to be. I have multiple people: Rob, Paul in Tucson, and myself, and then a couple other people that monitor the Facebook and make sure that people are getting responses and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. There's I went on vacation last week.
It happens.
There were some times where people didn't get an answer right away. And same thing with like FFL transfer. All that comes to my email. So I did my best, but when you are in the dunes in Idaho and there is no service, so I made it work though. We got it done. As Rob said, we care. We want to respond to you. So if you do have that question, please let us know. We are going to be looking at different 1911s, Cabot, Alchemy first. Then we'll go into Wilson Combat, Nighthawk, Staccato, Ed Brown, some of the other 1911s that we sell, and dive into them, the differences of them, why they did certain things. As I said, Alchemy, their focus was more classic guns that work. So you get that Colt look, but you actually get a gun that'll shoot like today's 1911s that have been tuned and ready to go. Cabot, in my opinion, is more of the artsy type 1911. However, they are shooters. This is a gun. It'd be hard for me to shoot this gun. And I every gun I own, I shoot. And I've watched people shoot this gun. So it's not like it's not a shooter. It's a shooter. Beyond that, but you get to a certain level where it's kind of like a Ferrari.
Yep.
You can drive it. It's going to work, but you want to keep it nice, and and it's the wrong thing because it's like I'm this way. I keep my cars nice, like really nice, and then my dad's like, "Well, yeah, you're keeping it nice for the next person." You know what I mean? Like that's what you're thinking is like resale. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah. So some people are like, well, no, I'll never sell the gun, but I want it to be perfect forever. Some people are like, no, I want it to be perfect so that if I ever need to sell it, no one will ever said I did anything with it.
Yeah.
I'm more that way.
It's like people go, oh, do you really need another gun? Well, no, and I don't really need 6 Starbucks within 3 square miles.
Right. But
We're
do
the
it.
United States, and that's what we do.
Right. Well, I don't drive out of my one area block. So that's too far for me. No, yeah, totally. I agree. So, but no, we're going to go through each brand. We'll look at them. We'll dive into them. If we have one on the range in the future, we'll do a video on the range where we shoot some of these guns and really look at them. So make sure you stick with us and follow the series. And like Rob said, if you have any questions, shoot us that. I'm Michael.
I'm Birdman.
We'll see you next time.